Everybody, welcome to episode 147 of the Rise or Die podcast. Lead from the facts. So I have to admit, I made a mistake in the last week in my business. So due to the demand for our services at 21 LEAP, both consulting and outsourcing, I had to make a couple of tough decisions. The problem is I made the wrong decision. So just being as transparent and vulnerable as I can, here's what happened. I got a very large deal. In fact, it was so big that I had to add a person to my staff immediately. I could not wait. Problem is I made the mistake of hiring the first person that I possibly could. Now, here's the thing. I'm a sales guy by trade. I can sell. I can sell anybody on almost anything. I'm the first one to be self-deprecating, but when it comes to sales, I'm very good. I met a fellow American down here in Antigua, Guatemala. Very tech-oriented, very introverted, not very comfortable with sales, but I sold him on giving it a try. And I shouldn't have, because it didn't work out. Within 1 week, we both agreed. I didn't have to fire him. He didn't completely quit. We just kind of agreed that it wasn't working out. Thankfully, he's in a spot where it's not the end of the world. But I had to admit defeat and realize that I made a bad call. It wasn't bringing on another individual. It's that I brought on the first one that I possibly could. I felt the crunch. It put me into scarcity. Well, shoot, how am I actually going to deliver? How am I going to do this? There's not enough people, not enough manpower. How am I going to pull this off? But I have to have this figured out in the next 7 days because the client just signed a contract and is wire transferring me money. So in scarcity, I was leading from emotion. I was leading my company by emotion, and it ended up screwing me. Now, thankfully, we're only 1 week in it, and we decided to call it quits. But the moral of the story is that actually there's two morals. Number one, you can't lead from scarcity. Number two, you can't lead from emotion. Emotion is used to drive us. Like I'm not going to sit here and tell you to bottle all of your feelings, not at all. But what I need you to do is be able to differentiate feelings from facts, fiction from reality. There is a huge difference. So now I have to pay the ramifications, which is I had to let another great guy go because I made the wrong call. And now my team has to adjust, and our clients have to adjust. Because we caught it early, it's not the end of the world, but I still have to deal with the ramifications. The problem is most people are leading from their heart in a very negative way. My heart drives me. My heart drives me forward in all that I do. It gives me purpose. But I make day-to-day decisions based on my head, and you need to as well. Too many are hiring and firing and doing all sorts of stupid things based on emotions, good and bad. Sometimes it's the act of acting. Sometimes it's actually the act of inaction because we're too afraid, which is an emotion. We're too cautious, which is an emotion. Lead from your head, not from your heart. And I'm not talking about not letting your heart have any say in what you do and your purpose and mission in life. That's not it at all. Lead from your heart in that scenario. But run your business from the facts. Run your life by the facts. That is it. Otherwise, you'll end up not only affecting your life in a very negative way, you're going to affect a lot of others in very negative ways as well. The former employee of mine now has to go find another job. He stopped his job hunt because he thought he was going to work with me. I was so adamant I needed the help. I sold somebody on something I shouldn't have. In this case, it was an employee. In other cases, we've all done it. We sold something that we shouldn't have from a business perspective because we saw revenue. We saw dollar signs. One last time. Don't lead from here in day-to-day decisions. Lead from here. The end. That's it for episode 147. Now, as always, guys, I spend a lot on Rise or Die just to really try to change the attitude of so many men and women out there that are trying to have it all across body, being, balance, and business. I don't get anything out of it, never going to monetize this, the end. But to get this to as many people as possible, I need your help. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're on iTunes, make sure you give us a good review. Talk to you tomorrow.